So let's get started. Today, we'll mostly be discussing some questions about the book that I provided. Um, Also, I would greatly encourage everyone to like participate because this is a reading club after all, and many of these questions are open-ended. Plus, the more you participate, the more you can learn, right? Mm. So let's start with chapter 6, the Holy Driver. Um, for question number 1, in the analysis portion of the chapter, the author Qiufan talked about 6 levels of autonomous driving, from L0 or no automation to L5, steering wheel optional. So, can you think of an example, whether in real life or fictional, for every level? Hmm. Also, if you want to like um if you have an answer, you can raise your hand. Okay. So does anyone know the 6 levels the author talked about in autonomous driving?
If I wasn't wrong, like the first level was just, I think, the most basic, like autonomous, like assistance, and then level 6 was, I believe, like you had a simulation, and then you drove. It was like autonomous, but then in certain scenarios, you could have people like simulate from a different, like a safer location, simulate the car and be able to control the car. I think something like that.
You got it mostly right, I guess. Level 0 is where there's no automation, like you drive the car yourself. Sometimes the AI can provide tips or alerts. Level 6 is where the AI drives by itself. You don't even need a steering wheel or you don't need a human driver. So level 6, I think most isn't really fulfilled right now, but in China there is some autonomous taxis for different areas, like maybe L5, I think. Um, oh sorry, L4 or L5. In China right now, there's autonomous taxis which can carry passengers to the destination without having a human driver. Mm, but yeah, so these levels, um, level 0 is with most cars right now, where there's a human driver who drives the car. Level 1, level 2, and level 3, are already in some features of cars. I think the Tesla has a little bit of auto driving, and with some cars they have different features. So L4 and L5, where a human driver doesn't need to be there or can take their mind off the road. That isn't completely fulfilled right now, although again in China there's a lot of examples, well not a lot, some examples of autonomous taxis. Um, so let's move on to question number 2. What are some problems or potential difficulties of autonomous vehicles? Can you think of some um, challenges autonomous vehicles can face?
Well, AI can't identify everything in every single scenario perfectly.
Yeah, that's correct. Like all the times there's different scenarios that might pop up or surprising scenarios, like a kid suddenly running in the middle of a road. But yeah, mm, Rohan?
Maybe if there are too many autonomous vehicles at once, they might crash into each other because they might all have flaws in them.
Yeah, Rohan, that's a great take on that. So yeah, autonomous vehicles. there can be some problems too, where like they can crash into each other. Yeah, exactly. Mm, so does anyone else have an answer? Again, I would like greatly encourage anyone to participate in this reading club. Okay. So anyways, um, moving on to question number 3. Um, This one is about, I guess, like ethics a little. Well, not really ethics, like a bit about laws and stuff, as the author in this chapter mentioned. So, if there's, and this is an open question, for discussion, is if there is an accident from an autonomous vehicle, who do you think should be accountable? Like, for example, the manufacturer or company that made the car, the person who made or the people who made the algorithms or AI, the owner of the car who like chose to buy the car, etc. Mm. So if there's an accident, like a vehicle crashes or someone gets hurt, who do you think should be accountable for that?
I think that the car manufacturer should be accountable, because they were like the one that like created the car that like malfunctioned.
Mm. Yeah, interesting. That's a great answer. Um, yeah, I certainly think the car manufacturer, like I can see your point. The car manufacturer should be the one to be responsible because they made the car. Does anyone have a different answer?
I think it depends on the situation. Like, if it was like unavoidable or something, or like the person drove it into a populated place, it might be the driver's fault or like the owner's fault. But if the car has like a history of crashing and stuff, and the it's just not it doesn't have a good history, like the manufacturer, then it's their fault.
Oh yeah, yeah, excellent, Amy. Yeah, that's a great opinion too. Yeah, so you could like totally look at like the history or crashes of the car. Mm. So does anyone else have any other opinion? Again, this is like kind of an open-ended question. Like there's a lot of different opinions for this question. Like there's no exact right or wrong. Okay. So finally, question number 4. Um, so in this chapter, the author or authors made a lot of predictions for autonomous vehicles. Do you think personally they can be achieved in 2041? Do you think they are practical or not? Like maybe you think they're kind of impossible to achieve or really hard to achieve and might take longer than that or shorter? Mm. So what's your take on these predictions for autonomous vehicles?
Um, I think that the predictions the author made, um, could be achieved in 2041 because I think like Tesla already has an autonomous vehicle, but I'm not really sure.
They canceled the autonomous vehicle.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. Um, yeah, great, Laurel. Yeah, that's an interesting opinion too. Mm, does anyone else want to share? Mm. Okay, personally, I think these predictions should be achieved in 2041 because again, a lot of companies are already like making prototypes, as Laurel and Max said, for like Tesla was trying to make an autonomous vehicle. Plus in China and like maybe in other countries later on, there's already autonomous taxis or autonomous buses. So yeah, I think they should be achieved in 2041. Yeah. Okay. So now let's continue on to chapter 7, quantum genocide. Yeah, that's kind of a depressing chapter actually. So in this chapter, it mainly talked about quantum computing and Bitcoin. So to clarify, if anyone like kind of forgot, quantum computing is a new type of computing which uses the properties of quantum mechanics. Like instead of an ordinary computer which uses binary bits, this uses quantum bits or qubits. So these qubits they're based on like quantum mechanics, and they can be like protons, electrons, like tiny parts of atoms. So they have like a lot of advantages or like different like different ways to help like the computing be faster. So what are some advantages of quantum computing? Um, does anyone know, or like, does anyone have an idea?
If we had quantum computing, um, we would uh, we would be able to save a lot of time when doing like tasks that are kind of like that take a lot of time, like solving math problems or calculating certain distances or factors. So I think quantum computing can help in those areas.
Yeah, that's amazing. Um, yeah, quantum computing can definitely like solve problems like math problems or engineering problems much more quickly than traditional or regular computing. Also, wait, what's your name again? Um, is your name Yonghua Wei or you Isabella? Okay, whatever. Um,
Um, I might have an idea.
yeah.
Um, maybe it would like help like architects and like engineers like calculate like measurements faster so then they can save time.
Yeah, that's definitely possible, Laurel. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. Quantum computing, since it's much quicker than regular computing and generally like super fast, in the future, it could, when it becomes like more common and more popular, it could definitely help architects, engineers and other people, like with their work. Mm. Which leads to the second part of this question. So how do you guys think quantum computing could possibly revolutionize AI? Does anyone have an idea?
Well, the pure fact that you can compute things far faster means that like qualitative data can be like computed easier, which is definitely good for AI. And then obviously quantitative data is increased in ability when you have quantum computing.
Mm. Yeah, great, Max. Does anyone else have another answer or anything? Again, like it could revolutionize AI in like a lot of ways. Mm. Okay. So, of course, quantum computing could also make AI much faster, right? Because it's much faster than traditional computing. It could also lead to a lot of maybe new AI algorithms that could possibly work very well because quantum computing has a lot of different mechanics than regular computing. Yeah. Um,
I think that since it like can like solve a lot of problems quicker, it could help like researchers like do things quicker so then they might be able to like discover like new technology.
yeah, that too. Yeah, great, Laurel. Mm, yeah. So question number two, um, on the other hand, what are some challenges of implementing quantum computing? Mm. After all, with like the advantages of quantum computing, there should also be some challenges, right?
Well, I feel like the only challenge I can think of is that a lot of people will be like scared of AI because they think it'll take control of everything. That's not really like a challenge or anything, but yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting answer too, Isabella. Um, yeah, a challenge standing in the way of AI in general is that people may be afraid of AI. But I think when maybe not like already yet to that exact point so far, but yeah. Does anyone else can anyone else think of any other challenges of implementing quantum computing? Mm. Also, to be more specific, I guess quantum computing is not exactly like the same as AI. It's like a type of computing which can help or accelerate or revolutionize AI in the future, but it's not exactly AI. But yeah, um, yeah, we have a lot of great answers so far. Mhm. Mm. Okay, so just to summarize, some challenges of implementing quantum computing additionally are that it's really hard to increase like the qubits in quantum computing. I think there was scientists could only make 2 qubits in 1998 and 65 in 2020. So you can see like they increase pretty slowly. Mm. And right now, we don't have enough qubits to actually um, solve a lot of super useful problems. But maybe in the future, when we have more qubits in quantum computing, um, that quantum computing could really be like super effective. Mm. Okay, question number 3. This is about Bitcoin. So in this chapter, it also talked a lot about Bitcoin. Does anyone know how Bitcoin works? It's kind of complicated actually to me. Mm,
Well, Bitcoin is essentially it's cryptocurrency. So it's a currency that holds value in that people believe that it holds value. So, but it's not like real money. In in vastly greater terms, it's not really real money. Um, it's more used as an investment method since the belief of a value of the value of Bitcoin can change over time. Obviously, that means that the prices can increase and decrease. Obviously, it makes it um as a good invest. It's not really good, but like it's an investment choice sometimes. And technically, you can mine Bitcoin because and you can steal Bitcoin because it is still technically a currency despite not being technically a physical currency. It is more of like an online currency. So it's still possible to be stolen and like mined and hacked and stuff like that.
yeah, cool, Max. Yeah, Bitcoin is like definitely it's like a digital currency. It doesn't have like an actual value, but Um, well, not like in a physical sense, but definitely in like a digital sense. So Bitcoin works with 2 keys, a public key and a private key, which are like really long series of characters. Anyways, with each transaction, like you can share your public key and like you can sign a transaction with your private key. Um, so this is an open question now. Um, do you think this depends on your own opinion? Do you think Bitcoin security is secure or not as secure as banks right now? Um, does anyone have an opinion on this? So, okay. Do you think Bitcoin security is secure or not?
I think it is a bit more secure because I think that you can like do transactions like anonymously, so that might make Bitcoin like so they can't like track like your IP address or something. So I think it's more secure than like Bits.
Yeah, I can definitely see your point. Mm, like after Bitcoin, like the creators, like Chain or the design experts, Chain or like realized like there was a flaw. Like people kept on sharing their public keys. They changed it so that now in Bitcoin the public key is hidden, so it's harder to guess the private key. But yeah. Mm,
I think that Bitcoin is like not really that secure because it's kind of like the people's opinion of it like shifts over time and uh it's just public opinion shifts too much, I think.
mm. Oh yeah, cool, Amy. So yeah, you were talking about like Bitcoin, like it can go up and down, like public opinion. It's like it's like shifting. So like yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting opinion. Yeah. Um, does anyone else have another opinion or they want to share?
Well, I think Bitcoin's still not as secure as banks because I feel like more people are practiced, like they practice like bank stuff or like bank security more than Bitcoin security, and not a lot of people have like a profession or whatever in Bitcoin, so the security is probably worse there.
Yeah, that's an excellent take on that too. Yeah, because Bitcoin right now is mostly managed by this anonymous person, so its security probably wouldn't be as secure or like as good. But yeah. Yeah, personally, I think Bitcoin security isn't as secure as banks because while it's like much harder to be hacked, um, it doesn't like you don't know who's hacking it as banks or there's cameras and stuff if someone robs it or like hacks into it. And banks, if someone hacks into your account or takes money from your account, they can like give you like give your money back to you, right? Or like additional money to make up for it. But for Bitcoin, if someone hacks into your account, which is still pretty hard, like you still don't get your Bitcoins back. You basically just lose them. Unlike banks where they can pay you if you get hacked. Mm. So yeah, I think Bitcoin security for me is probably not as secure as banks. Um, so moving on to question number 4. Uh, Qiufan presents some clear cases for and against autonomous weapons. So yeah, autonomous weapons, they were also a big topic in this chapter. So advantages or pros of autonomous weapons include not having to involve soldiers or human soldiers and like higher efficiency. However, cons or like disadvantages of autonomous weapons include the fact that autonomous weapons are accessible and cheap. Like you can get yourself a drone for about $1,000 and you can like download the code for on free from the internet for like very little cost or like no cost at all. Um so autonomous weapons are also small and not easy to be caught. Like tiny drones, it's really hard to shoot them down, especially like a great swarm of them. They can target individuals, etc. So yeah, the author presented a lot of like um um pros and cons for autonomous weapons in this chapter. So now is my question, and this is like a totally open question. Based on this stuff, like the cases the author presented in this book, what is your take on autonomous weapons? Do you think they should be banned? They should be allowed? Um, do you feel positive, or do you have like positive feelings or negative feelings for autonomous weapons, or are you just like not sure? Chloe?
Like in our generation, we shouldn't be using automatic weapons because like we're not exactly ready for that yet. Like in wars, we shouldn't have like AI weapons, and like this will also like decrease the amount of jobs we have because like they will maybe take over the jobs we have, and like we're still having some problem with AI. Our AI isn't really secured yet, so we shouldn't. Maybe in a later generation we can try, so like we don't have to have humans to fight. But like right now, I don't think so. We should use weapon AI weapons during um war.
Yeah, I can see your point too, Chloe. Yeah, that's interesting. Like, since technology isn't that advanced right now, we probably shouldn't use autonomous weapons. So, but yeah. Does anyone else have an opinion on this or want to answer? Seriously, this is like a super open-ended question. Like, there's no right or wrong answers. It just depends on your opinion of like autonomous weapons.
Well, like based on like the pros and cons that are like presented, I honestly think that like drones, I don't think they're that AI. Like you can, cause like most drones, like you can like control it off like a different device. But honestly, I think the cons, I don't think they're like necessarily cons. Like it could be cons for like, I don't know, enemies, but like it could like be beneficial to yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that's also an excellent like take on that too. Um, Also the author, he was talking about like drones which like were using AI to like target an individual or like perform some tasks themselves. But yeah, I can like see like your point. A lot of countries like they might want autonomous weapons because like um for themselves, like in wars, um that can be like a giant advantage. But yeah, um talking like yeah. Isabella?
These are just like my random thoughts on autonomous weapons, but I feel like it would be impossible to ban them. Just like how it would be impossible to ban like illegal drugs or stuff like that. And another thing is I feel like autonomous weapons would kind of be like, oh, well, yeah, they would just be quantum genocide too. I feel like if the weapons or whatever got advanced enough, because I think although nuclear bombs are like the main thing, these weapons they can basically kill anyone anywhere. Even I don't know, in like Mount Everest or something, if you get them advanced enough. So, I don't know, kind of scared of them.
Yeah, that's a really interesting opinion, Isabella. Yeah, I guess it would be in the future super hard to like ban autonomous weapons because number one, you might be able to make them yourself, or like the parts are really accessible. Like you can just buy them pieces, like make your own drone and like code it. But yeah, and honestly, I feel like a lot of people will be very scared of autonomous weapons because, as other people said before, like I think um Laurel said before, like while they're good for like one particular country, like they might have a giant advantage, but it depends on what country that is, right? If it's like if an opposing country has really advanced autonomous weapon technology, that might not be very good for you. So I get like a lot of people would be scared of autonomous weapons. I would be too. Mm. Does anyone else have another answer or something?
So like before I said like they would be like good for yourself, but like usually when like they create like weapons, people like create weapons and stuff, they usually like end up being used for like bad purposes. So I don't think they're that good in my opinion, but I think they're like good. It's like good advanced technology, I guess.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I also see that. Like, it's not like since like weapons are usually used like for killing or like for bad purposes, that would certainly be very bad. But yeah, I agree with you. Like a country like itself might want to have autonomous weapons to be safer, kind of like nuclear bombs. Um, except like nobody really uses nuclear weapons. But yeah. Autonomous weapons certainly can be dangerous once they've advanced to a point. Um, okay, so speaking of autonomous weapons and like being dangerous and stuff, the analysis section of this chapter also proposed a few different solutions for limiting autonomous weapons. Um, also, that's on page 211 to 212 if like um you slightly forgot or anything or like you need a reminder. So looking over that, um I think it proposed a few different solutions, such as banning autonomous weapons, only letting humans choose, if it like the killing part or decision of a drone, um, regulating the weapons, etc., etc. So, which solution do you think is more effective? Or do you have like your own solution? Like instead of regulating it, banning it, or something, you could get a really big tax on it or something. Mm. So does anyone have any like solutions for limiting autonomous weapons? Like which do you think is more effective?
Maybe like you could uh so if you like have any autonomous weapons, then you could probably like make them like pay a really large amount of cash, since most Americans probably don't have that amount of money to pay for autonomous weapons. So they're just like, oh well, what rather take that risk than pay just like a huge amount of money.
Mm. Yeah, that's an excellent idea too. Like if you had like a really big tax on autonomous weapons, though, of course, like with every idea that or solution, there's like some disadvantages or loopholes in that. For example, like you don't exactly know if an ordinary citizen like made an autonomous weapon, so you can't really tax them. But then again, like you could like impose laws or something. If someone used an autonomous weapon, you could heavily tax them. But yeah, I guess like a giant tax would be a handicap for like a regular person. Like instead of, oh, I really hate this person. Let me build a drone and code it to kill them or any injure them. Like they probably wouldn't do that as quickly. Hopefully they won't do that or think of that at all. But yeah. Um, that taxing autonomous weapons probably couldn't like limit government countries like or like terrorists though if they have a big budget. But yeah, that's a possible solution too. Does anyone else have another solution or like your opinion? Again, like this question is like pretty open-ended, like for discussion, right?
Um, in my opinion, the third approach to regulate autonomous weapons, it might be the best, but honestly, I don't think any of them would be like really effective because like like sometimes they could like be sold like I don't know, like black market or dark web because I don't think regulating autonomous weapons is like would be really effective, but I think it's the most effective way.
Mm. Yeah, Laurel, that's again an excellent idea too. How do you plan on like I'm just curious. Plus this is like a discussion question. How would you plan on regulating like autonomous weapons? Like like if the government like proposed like a new set of laws for regulating them, like the author also proposed like different ways to regulate autonomous weapons. So how would you do that?
Um, I think oh, I think yeah, like making laws about it, um, about regulating autonomous weapons, but I'm not really sure it's like I said, like a very effective way because like obviously not like some people like find a way to like get past the law and stuff. But I think creating laws that regulate autonomous weapons is like the most effective out of all the solutions.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Laurel. Um, does anyone else have any other answers or opinions? Okay, so let's continue on to chapter 8. The job savior. So, in this chapter, it mainly talked about like AI job displacement, some ways to fix that, or solutions, etc. So in this chapter, Kai-Fu Lee, he proposed, well, he recommended an idea that's already proposed, about universal basic income or UBI. So what is UBI? Mm,
So it's like every single person gets like a so like if you're unemployed, if you're disabled, if you have like some reason that you can't really earn any money, you get money from the government.
mm. Yeah, it's actually exactly like that. So universal basic income is where the government pays everybody like a certain amount of money, like every every period to like pay for basic necessities like shelter, food, water, electricity, etc. But yeah. Mm. Okay, whatever. Um, so how do you think UBI can help unemployed or potentially displaced workers? Also, before we continue, I want to like thank everyone who's participated in this reading club um like for sharing their opinions and stuff. And plus again like sharing and participating in these discussions can also help you like learn more about like AI in this book, right? Um so anyways, back to this question. Um, how do you think universal basic income can help unemployed or potentially displaced workers? Mm,
Well, I think first of all, it can obviously help their needs like shelter, food, and water. Maybe they won't get enough, but at least they'll have like some of it. And it's kind of like the idea of homeless people getting money. And I think it would help. It's just that I don't think the UBI is like that much money. So I think it's still better for you to find a job yourself and earn a more stable income. That way you can satisfy your own needs and have fun through life.
yeah, that's an amazing idea, Isabella. Yeah, UBI definitely like can't fix all of like the issues, and it would be better um if like unemployed or displaced workers could like find their own jobs. But UBI, the purpose of UBI is so that displaced workers, they can have like an amount of money to or a certain amount of money to like help them live while they're finding another job or like learning a new skill for another job. Um, so talking about jobs, what are some limitations of AI that humans have no trouble doing? Um, like Chloe?
Like AI isn't very creative, and AI doesn't really have any emotions. But like us humans, we have like a lot of emotions. We can be creative. AI is more like a calculator. Like it's really good at mathematics, but it doesn't really have the creative side and the emotional side.
Yeah, that's great, Chloe. Yeah, totally. AI doesn't have like can't be exactly creative in a way. It can't exactly strategize that well as of now. Like it can make a super detailed plan as of now, and it can't exactly like have a sense of like emotion, you know. Um, so from the above question and the limitations of AI, can can you list two jobs not mentioned in this book? Because Kai-Fu Lee in this chapter also mentioned like different possible jobs. But can you list two jobs not mentioned here that may not be easily replaced in the future? And this is again a pretty open question because there's a lot of jobs, right? And maybe like not all of them um aren't easily replaced in the future, but like maybe you can think of some. Um, Chloe?
Like a CEO or like a leader in a company, or maybe like an artist or like an author or something like that. Or
Yeah,
maybe like the surgeons.
yeah, um, leaders in companies, surgeons. Yeah, those are great answers. Of course, some jobs and a lot of jobs in the future, they will have AI helping them. Like already, like you can use AI to write emails or like make general outlines or plans, like pretty general ones. But maybe in the future, authors and surgeons will have like AI tools to assist them. But yeah, those are great answers. Does anyone else have another opinion or any other answers?
Um, I think that like an entertainer or like a person in the entertainment industry, I don't think that like AI could like replace them because like I don't know, because like making like entertaining people like involves like creativity and like new thinking that like no one's ever thought about before and like having emotions and stuff to be like relatable and like I feel like AI can like only take stuff off of stuff that's already been done. Like um like sometimes like when you have to like search up something and AI just comes up with something that's like maybe already been thought of and like I don't think that they can like come up with like new creative ideas that would like be entertaining.
Yeah, those are amazing ideas, Laurel. Actually, I feel like entertainment people might not be so easily replaced. Of course, um, you could use AI maybe in the future when AI is more advanced um to make plays, movies, creative material, or to like add on or edit like movies and stuff. Or maybe you could like have like VR glasses, you know, but um I feel like people performing in plays or like dances and stuff would probably not be exactly replaced because AI robots wouldn't be as agile, and I would rather watch a human doing like really complex like maybe like a ballet dance or like a play than a robot. But yeah, Um, yeah, that's a great answer. Does anyone else have any other ideas?
I think YouTubers.
Yeah, YouTubers definitely, well, most likely will not be replaced. Because again, they have a lot of really original content. Like imagine Mr. Beast being replaced by a robot. The robot probably wouldn't be able to like have a lot of extremely creative or good ideas. Yeah, totally. That's an idea that the author definitely did not think of. Mm. Okay, so now let's move on to chapter 9, the Isle of Happiness. Um, in the analysis part of this chapter, chapter 9, the author introduced a theory called mm, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The hierarchy is arranged into a pyramid of human needs, like with different levels, from the most basic on the bottom to the most advanced at the top. And they're separated into two categories. So, can someone please list the levels of needs? Like anyone, you can just read off the book. Mhm. Okay, can anyone list the level or pyramid of needs? Okay, fine. If no one knows, um, there's 5 levels. Self-actualization, like realizing your potential and like achieving maybe like your dream, maybe through creative activities. Then there's esteem, like your self-respect, and like your recognition of yourself or other people's recognition of yourself. There's love and belonging, like family, friends, etc. And then those are eudaimonic needs. Um, hedonic needs, which are more like basic primary needs, are safety and like you have like shelter, good health, a stable life, and psychological, like food, water, clothing, etc. Mm. So the hedonic needs are more like basic needs. Like once you have met them, can you like move on to the more higher needs or eudaimonic needs, which can provide like lasting happiness or like a higher level of happiness, like growth, meaning, um, excellence. Okay, so here comes my open question. Out of these levels, which needs do you think you have already met? And this is an open question. It's like really based on you. Like what needs or like levels have you already met?
I think obviously I've met oh well psy sociological. And then I also think safety I've met. Um, love and belonging, yeah. Esteem, hmm, we're getting there. And then self-actualization, also getting there. It's on the way.
Yeah, it's about yeah, that's actually what I myself. Um, like I feel like a lot of people are about that stage. Maybe some people definitely are higher, some people maybe slightly lower. Um, oh yeah. Does anyone else want to share?
Um, I think um I think I might have met all of them. kind of lucky, but I don't think there aren't any needs I haven't met, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah, nice. Good for you. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I feel like some people probably also have like met like all of those needs too. But yeah. Honestly, I feel like for the hedonic needs, I feel like that's super easy, like well, not super easy, like pretty easy for a kid. Um since they don't really need like employment and like their house, food, etc. is provided by their parents, unless their parents have difficulties in that. Um, but yeah, I feel like yeah, but that's a great answer. Thanks for sharing. Does anyone else want to share? Mm. Okay, so actually, for me myself, I've probably definitely met like physiological, physiological and safety needs. I Yeah, I've met love and belonging, because I have my family and my friends. Um, I feel like maybe probably esteem, like probably, um, and self-actualization, not really, because I feel like I haven't achieved my full potential. Like I'm 12, so I feel like I haven't exactly achieved my full potential, you know? And so like maybe later on in life I'll achieve my full potential. I feel like I've done a lot of things, but I feel like maybe not exactly like completely 100%. But yeah, getting there. Mm. Okay. So moving on to talking about data protection and data. In the book, um, GDPR, they mentioned GDPR, or General Data Protection Regulation. GDPR is a set of laws or a law which limits websites, apps, and companies from gathering a large amount of data, preventing abuse of personal data, and making companies more transparent to simplify it. Um, However, as the author said, this can seriously handicap some AI algorithms as they need large amounts of data from like collecting people's like records or like data or like and AI cannot exactly be transparent because even the company doesn't fully know what the AI how the AI is deciding something or its decisions. So what is your take on this? Do you feel like GDPR is a good idea, an okay idea? Do you think it should be um changed to be less restrictive, or like so what's your opinion on this? Ooh. Oh, okay. Mm. Okay, does anyone want to share? Mm. Okay, so no one wants to answer this? Okay, it's okay. Well, but I'll say my personal opinion. I feel like GDPR should be like slightly like should be changed to be slightly less limited. I feel like um it should like be slightly less restrictive so on AI so that um AI can like be more, can grow faster or can be be better. Mm,
Um, I might have an idea
Yeah,
about
I have a
GPR.
question.
uh, oh, um, okay. How about Laurel? You can share your idea first, and Max, after you can ask your question. So
Oh,
Laurel,
okay. Well, I think like it might be good because like I don't really like when like companies use my personal data, especially like when I give them my email and they just give me a bunch of spam emails. That's kind of annoying. But I think I think they shouldn't be too limited because like using your data can like help you can they give your personal data. But honestly, I think it's kind of good because I just don't really like annoying emails like spamming me. And when they give like companies like my personal information, like my email or my phone number and stuff.
yeah, I can see your point too, Laurel. Like I definitely have entered my email into like one or two websites before, only to receive a bunch of spam, and I had to like block them. Um, but yeah, I can see like where you would like want you wouldn't want companies or websites to abuse your data or like to have a lot of your data. Um, I feel like this could handicap a lot of AI algorithms though, such as YouTube sometimes gives you like recommendations from an AI algorithm from your past searching history, or you have like Google can give you recommendations too, um, or maybe sometimes helpful ads. So yeah, that could be certainly could be very helpful. But I can see your point about like not wanting websites or apps to like abuse your data or like get a lot of your data. Max?
So my question is like when does this end? So
Hmm?
wait, so when does the reading club end? Like 8:30?
Oh, I think it ends at about 8. If anyone wants to go right now, they can. I'll probably finish chapter 9, and then I have chapter 10, but it's okay. It's mostly about plenitude, which isn't exactly a part of AI that much. Um, but yeah, if anyone wants to leave right now, or like if you have like some conflicts, you can leave right now. I think it's supposed to end at 8 o'clock. I think. Yeah. Okay. So, does anyone else have another opinion they want to share?
Uh, about the using a trusted AI, right? Like I'm not sure if it's entirely relevant. So like, can I just like? I mean, it is about AI receiving our information and stuff. Can I just like talk about a hypothetical like scenario? Like it's
Sure.
from a book I read. So like, have you guys ever read Scythe? Like, it's a book about a utopia.
Mm.
Well, it's a pretty good book. So like there's this like AI that's basically in charge of most stuff, and they're called the Thunderhead, and its sole purpose is to help like humanity, and it's programmed to always work with the benefit of people, and it knows like basically everything, and I think like if we create an AI that works similarly to the Thunderhead, it might work out. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds like a good idea from um like the details you said. Yeah. Um if you had like one general AI which would be like super safe and secure to receive our data and stuff and like safeguarded, protected, make like important like decisions related to data for us, that would definitely be helpful. And yeah, your book sounds really interesting. I might check it out later. Mm,
Yeah, that's all I really have to say, honestly.
those are great ideas. And since Amy already like said her answer to question number 3, let's just move on to that. Does anyone else want to share their own opinions? Do you think having a trusted AI to receive your data, decide whether or not to allow other people to access our data, protect it, etc., do you think this is a good idea or not? Or would you rather like make your own decisions, and like protect your own data?
I think this is a really good idea because, well, not like I think it's a good idea. Well, I'm not sure, but I think it's a good idea because usually sometimes people don't know like the best decisions, like what to do with our data. So if you like use a trusted AI to help us safeguard and protect it, it would like be more, I don't know, effective than like if we try to make that decision ourselves.
Yeah, Laurel. Yeah, that's an excellent opinion too. Um, yeah, I can totally see your point. Isabella?
So I just have like a thought. So if we were to use this like trusted AI thing, who would make it? Because if the government make it, does that mean that they receive all of our data and safeguard and protect it? Or do they secretly spy on us? Is it everyone else? We make our own trusted AI. Who's making it? Like who's receiving all our data? Or is it just someone like, I don't know, Amy was talking about like the Thunderhead. It's just a random big database or like, I don't know, quantum computer.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I don't know. Um, I would say maybe like a large company which could be regulated by the government with some laws, or maybe the government itself. I don't know. This is like mostly a hypothetical situation. Um, I mean, like it depends, but yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay. So does anyone else want to share? Okay. So personally, I think that this should be a pretty good idea. Mainly because like, sometimes well, a lot of times when apps or websites or stuff, they give you a really, really, really long list of like the law, the code, like the date, um how they will handle your personal data and stuff. Well, no one really looks at that. I mostly just like skim through it and like click OK or no or something. But I feel like if I had a trusted AI and it like knew most of my data, then it could just scan through um that long list of words or something, um and like decide um whether or not to let it access my data. I feel like that would be a lot quicker because it could like automatically read all of those lines of text in a few seconds maybe, um which I would normally wouldn't like look at. So yeah, that would honestly, in my opinion, be a really good idea. But yeah. However, it does have some like negative like cons. For example, if all of like people's personal data was in one company or one database, that might be really easy to hack. But yeah. Okay, so right now, since we're kind of low on time, I'll skip chapter 10. Also, question, does anyone like need to leave right now or have any other arrangements? So I'll just ask one more question overall. So what are some major takeaways you had from this book? And what story, like from this book, did you like most or that inspired you the most? Like, what was the thing, what inspired you the most in this entire book? Chloe?
I found out it's really inspiring how AI can be used in good ways and bad ways, and how AI is always going to keep on growing more advanced every generation, but how we should always use it good in a way to inspire the future generations and to help our world to become uh, a better place. I know this sounds cliche, but yeah.
Yeah, Chloe, yeah. That's like a great like answer. Yeah, I learned a lot from this book and it was definitely inspiring that AI could like help people in a lot of ways. It does have some like cons, but or like negative sides, but it has a lot of like positive benefits that might happen. Yeah. Um Max, do you want to share something?
Yeah, so also for like the inspiring part, like I guess probably like the first one was the most that's inspiring because it does really talk about how AI can have its issues regarding how it's inclusivity and diversity. And yeah, so there's obviously a lot going on when an AI can also like be beneficial but can also be it non-beneficial towards certain groups and certain people because the data and information that it was given.
Yeah, yeah, I can totally see your point. Like, the first chapter actually was a really good chapter, especially to begin the book with, because it explored how like an AI-based insurance could like help you make healthier choices or better choices in your life while like lowering the cost of insurance, kind of like a win-win a situation, but it could also have some negative like biases and stuff, or like places where the AI's goal isn't aligned with its users' goal. But yeah, yeah. Does anyone else want to share? Okay then. So, that will be it for today. For this book. Speaking of which, next time we will read this book. It's also an AI book by, hold on, okay. Um, this is also an AI book. It's called The World I See by Dr. Fei Li. So she's like a really influential and a pioneer in computer science. She's actually a professor at Stanford University for computer science. But she's super influential. I don't know if you've heard of her or not before, but again, she's like really famous. And like she's made a lot of AI breakthroughs and stuff. So yeah, she wrote this book. Next time we'll be discussing it and talking about it.
Wait, I thought we were going to read Google it.
Huh?
Google it. I thought we were going to read Google it. Oh, my bad.
Oh,
Be-
we're gonna read Google it at some point. Um, but I think like we changed around something. Anyways, um, um, there was I think a rearrangement. So next time we'll read The World I See.
Because I already read Google it like a few months ago because I thought we were going to read that next. My bad.
Oh, well, it's okay. At least like you've already read it before time. We're gonna be discussing it at some point or another. So yeah. Okay, does anyone have any more questions? Okay, so that will be it for today. Thank you everyone for coming to this reading club. Um, hold on, stop share. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time coming to this reading club. And thank you everyone for like sharing and participating in these discussions. So yeah, that will be it for today. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.